Okay.
Cruising is when you go around looking for gay penis. And it was invented in 1980 by... It was invented in 1980 by, of course, Tom Cruise. I'm a gay man. So basically, Al Pacino has to go undercover as a gay man to catch a killer.
Okay.
Because it takes place in the 1980 leather daddy community. So this movie is there's a killer in Greenwich Village, and then there's some murders. This guy, he goes to the gay bars, he brings him back to the hotel room, stab, and they bring in Pacino, and they're like, you need to go undercover. We know you love fucking your girlfriend, and we're gonna keep cutting back to that to remind the audience that you're not gay.
Okay,
but you need to go undercover. We need you to get a apartment in the village, live as a gay man, and go to this bar every night. And you need to try to get this guy to try to kill you so you can catch him, right?
Okay.
And he's going there every night. He's checking stuff out. He's feeling it out. He meets this guy, right? And the police were like, this guy seems weird. Let's look into this guy. And then the cops go to where the guy works, and it's a restaurant.
Oh.
And then there's all these shots of people eating. It's a steakhouse.
You're saying all this stuff so ominously.
It's a steakhouse. Yeah. And they look around and they go, what do you cut steak with? Fucking knives. And they're like, this guy has access to knives. He must be the killer if he has access to knives. Who else could get their hands on knives, right? So they're like, okay, Al Pacino, we're going to need you to really get that bussy working. You need to seduce this guy and get him to try to kill you, right? And this was what's so funny. So we see the cops, there's like, it turns out it's like 1,000 cops. We think it's just one car, and Al Pacino goes into the hotel. That at this point does not require a credit card down payment, but soon will.
Yeah.
And he goes in, and what's so funny, and then they lose, they're trying to listen to the bug, but they lose contact. And as soon as they lose contact, they're like, well, he could be killing him right now. I mean, he's the only guy in town with knives.
Yeah.
So we got to get in there. And 1,000 cops come out of nowhere, and they run up, and they break the door in. And it's so funny. When they come in, Al Pacino's tied up, hog-tied, face down on the bed. And he looks at the cops like, guys, you're ruining this for me. He's like, I was about to be gay for the first time. Yeah. He's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
I turned off the radio. This is a big night for me. Because Al Pacino's got his own case he's working on.
Yeah.
The case of Am I Gay?
Yeah.
Right?
He's got a rainbow cake in his ass.
So then, this is, okay, and I don't want to oversell this, but this is my favorite scene that ever happened in a movie. Okay. This is so good. This is like the best thing that ever happened. Okay. So the cops can't let the guy know that he works for the cops. So they bring Pacino and the guy he was in bed with. They bring them both into the police station.
Cool.
And they're going, you guys, what were you guys doing in there? Mm-hmm. It's illegal to have gay sex in 1980. And he sticks a knife in the table and goes, we know you've got knives. We think you're the killer, right? And they go, well, you don't know nothing, buddy. Like they're both, acting tough. They're like, you don't know nothing. We're just two gay guys having fun. A lot of guys got knives these days. And I can't explain this. I don't want to know what it means, okay? But you know how, like, there are mysteries in movies? Like, there's the briefcase in Pulp Fiction. There's another example.
Yeah, probably.
Can you think
the head in the box at the end of 7?
Well, we know it. We all know it was a head in the box.
Okay, yeah.
There's, what was the ending of 2001?
What did she say in Lost in Translation?
What did she say in Lost in Translation? Here's the greatest mystery that you've never heard of from a film.
Okay.
They're saying Al Pacino and gay guy we think is the murderer. You better tell us what's going on here. And they say, fuck you, coppers. We ain't telling you nothing. The door opens. A giant black guy wearing only a cowboy hat and a jockstrap is standing there, and he slaps Al Pacino across the face and leaves. And Al Pacino goes, who the fuck was that guy? And they go, it doesn't matter who that guy was. Are you going to talk now? And he's like, no, why would that make me talk? And then they take Al Pacino out of there. And the other guy's still in there, and he's like, all right, now are you going to talk? And he's like, I don't want to talk. And then the door opens, and the black guy's standing there wearing a jockstrap and a cowboy hat with his ass out. He slaps him across the face. He falls on the ground. The guy leaves, and then the guy on the ground goes, who is that guy? And they never explain it, and they never talk about it. And I don't want to Google it, because I don't want to know the answer.
Right.
So Pacino is he gay? Is he not gay? And they keep cutting to scenes with poor Karen Allen. They cut to Karen Allen because he's got a life. He's pretending to be the gay guy, but he's also got the straight life. But every time, it's like the first time he has sex with Karen Allen, it's great. It's intense. He's loving it. And the second time, she kind of goes down on him, and you see his face, and they start to kind of like play just the sounds of the gay bar in his head. And you're like, oh, he's thinking about the gay bar. And then the third time we see him with Karen Allen, she's like, you don't even like me anymore. And he's just like, it's this case. So here's where the movie gets crazy is he had this buddy who was next door to his gay apartment that was like his gay friend in the village that he talks to. And then he goes to talk to his gay friend, and it's his boyfriend. The gay guy's boyfriend has been away, but he's back. And he's like, what do you want? You're the guy that's been sniffing around my boyfriend, right? And he's like, yeah, where is it? And he's like, he's not here. He's off dancing. You know, it's the 80s.
Sure.
Everyone has a gay job.
Yeah.
And Pacino burst in. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to fuck you then. And we're like, Pacino's snapping. We're like, what's going on? And we're like, Pacino's not just becoming gay. And he like kind of, he seems like he's about to attack the guy. And then he leaves. And we're like, what's going on, right? And then I forget how they figure out, they look at a yearbook or something. They figure out a new suspect. And Pacino goes to that guy's apartment, and he reads through his notes in his closet. He's writing notes to, we find out later it's his dad, but he's writing notes to somebody about how he's going crazy. Well, I guess it's the killer. But instead of just arresting him, Pacino starts terrorizing this guy. Like, he goes to his apartment, and then he leaves, and then the guy comes home, and he's like, someone's been in my apartment, and he looks out the window, and Pacino's going like, yeah, baby. You got Pacino, baby. He wants him to know.
Yeah.
So then the guy goes out later at night, the killer, right? And he goes to the park, and now Pacino's following him. And you have this thing, you have this sense where you're like, I don't think Pacino's just become gay. I think Pacino has become a killer. Pacino's crazy, because now Pacino's dressed up like the guy, right? So it's like Leather Daddy serial killer off.
Okay.
It's like Pacino has become the Leather Daddy serial killer, and the Leather Daddy serial killer. So so now we're at a point where they're not just trying to pick each other up; they're trying to pick each other up. He's like, "Hey, you want to have sex?" And he's like, "I don't know. You want to have sex?" And he's like, "You're gonna kill me?" "I don't know. Maybe you're gonna kill me." It's all implied.
So it's like two tops when they meet. They're just like, who's gonna?
Too many tops.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate top off.
Yeah.
Top off. Cruising 2, top off. So he pulls his pants down. Pacino steps on the guy's pants. The guy pulls his knife out.
Yeah.
But then Pacino pulls out his own knife and stabs the guy. So you're like, that was kind of self-defense, but why did Pacino have a fucking knife?
Yeah.
Because now we're really like, Pacino is a killer, right? And we're like, okay, I guess Pacino became a killer, but he became a killer to kill a killer. So you're kind of like, who am I rooting for here, right? But then the guy goes to jail. We caught the killer. But then, cut to the apartment of his gay best friend, whose boyfriend he kind of attacked. Now that guy's dead.
What the fuck?
Well, it's either him or the other guy. It's one of the gay guys who lives next door is dead.
Okay.
But how could he be dead if the killer's in jail?
Right. Because it's Pacino.
Then we cut to Pacino, and now Pacino is back with his straight girlfriend, back in the apartment. And he's shaving, and she's like, well, Pacino, I'm sure glad that all that gay stuff's over. And here's the thing, Pacino's looking in the mirror, and he's shaving, and he's like...
With a knife?
With a shaver.
Oh, shit.
But no, I think the symbolism is there. Because then Karen Allen, she's like, well, my boyfriend's back. Hope we didn't do anything too weird at work. And she sees the leather outfit with the sunglasses, and she starts putting it on. And Pacino's looking at himself in the mirror, and he's shaving, right? And I think the symbolism there is, because I think the symbolism is, look, you might be gay, and you might be a murderer, but just keep it in. And then, because then it's like, look, you want to be gay? Dress Karen Allen up like a gay guy. You want to stab people? Shave.
Yeah.
Right? And then the last shot is Al Pacino looks in the mirror, and he looks into the camera as if to say, oh, you're gay. The past was doing its best.
That's the theme song.
Leave him alone. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. They were doing their best.